Hi friends, this is Kamal Shah from Swecharts Consultancy Private Limited. Swecharts is into training on technical analysis, and we started with a series of videos on introduction to technical analysis. Then we started with the new series which was introduction to candlestick, and this is the second video of the series on introduction to candlesticks. In this video we are going to talk about the candlestick progressions, which will help us understand how was the day for either the bulls or the bears, right? So let's understand that. So if I have to show you the candlestick progressions, let me tell you that this candles which we are showing here, right, they are going to be a very bullish and more strong candles compared to this three candles out here, though they are also strong sessions. This is going to be a neutral type of sessions, and then this are actually the bearish. So let's understand them one by one, right? So this is a very strong session. This first candle, if you see, the candle is without any wicks, right? So there is no low of the day and no high of the day represented by any of the lower shadow or the upper shadow. The reason for this candle being like this is that the day started with the open was around the low itself, and this entire day the bulls were in command, and they closed the day also at the day's high. So that is the reason why it started at the low, it ended at the day's high, which says that the bulls were in total control on this day. And that is the reason why this is a very strong session by the bulls, right? Then the next candle shows that there is some low that was made in the day, but that was captured. So this was the low which was made, but still again the close was at the day's high, which says the bulls were in control and they were able to close at the day's high and defend the high quite well, right? And that is the reason why this is a strong session. And the third candle, we see that there is hardly any real body in this particular candle, right? So this is the biggest wick that we see, or a lower shadow, and this means that the day started somewhere here, the bears started to go take the price lower, but somewhere here the bulls recaptured the territory and they pushed the price more higher and took it till here. So they outsmarted the bears and they recaptured their territory and they brought it back to where it was. And that is the reason why this particular candle is also very strong bullish session for the bulls, right? So this first three candles are going to be very strong session in the market for the bulls. Same way, if we come here, we see that there is an intraday low because there is a wick, and there is also some intraday high, which means the bulls were not that able to close it at the day's high, and that is the reason why this is a strong session but not stronger compared to this candles, right? So this is also a good bullish day but not that strong compared to the previous ones, right? Then this fifth particular candle, it's similar to this, but if you note, the difference is in the length of the lower shadow or the lower wick. In this case it is just smaller wick, which means it is not that fight that the bulls had to do, or nor the bears were that powerful that they were not able to push the price more lower. So that is the reason why this was a 50-50 type of war between the bears and the bulls, and that is the reason why this is a strong session but not stronger compared to this particular candle. Then in this case again we see that though the real body is almost more than two-thirds of the total price movement in the day, which is between the low and the high. This is at least a two-third is still as a green body, which means the price has moved up by two-thirds of the candle, right? But if you see that I touched a high here, I was not able to close near the high. So that is the reason why this is a strong session, but not stronger compared to even this or this, right? And then similarly, if we come here, what we see here is just neutral session for the bulls, because though we see that it's a green candle, which means the price has moved up. But now in this case, if you see that the total length of the candle along with the wicks, if you just consider that my real body is actually one-third of the size of the wick, and that is the reason why it's a neutral session, because yet it was a green day, but it is a caution for us, because this is not giving us any clarity whether the bulls have still the control or is the bears now striking back, right? And similarly, this being a very small candle will not give us much clarity for that day and what is to be done the next day, right? So that is the reason why looking at these two candles, one cannot say what to do the next day, and that is the reason why we term them as neutral session. Then we go to this last two candles. Though they look green in color, they are actually bearish. What this was showing is that the bulls took charge and they came up and they rise higher. In this case, the day was good, it made a high here, so somewhere when the day was going on, my candle would be a good green candle. But then the bears took the charge and they dropped the price down, and that is the reason why this becomes a bearish session for the stock or the index, because the bears are now in command. And this, if you see the difference again, is the length of the shadow, and this is a bigger shadow than this, so this is more bearish session than even this. This means the bulls have given up and they are now not able to defend their territory or their levels, right? So what we saw in this 10 candles is that from more bullish we are moving towards less bullish and then to bearish, and we know that this first three is a very strong bullish session, then this is a strong bullish session, and then this is neutral session, and then this last two are actually bearish. Though they are green in color, mind you that this are though green in color, though we know that a green candle is a bullish candle, but this is a signal of bearishness in the market, right? So now let's understand the candle progression for red candles, right? So now if you see this, so this is again going to be the same. This is that open is near to the day's high and I'm closing to the day's low, which means the bears were in the charge of this particular stock for the entire day and the bulls had nothing to do, right? And that is the reason why when only one party is strong and ruling the entire day, the day belongs to them and it's a very strong day for them, right? So that is the reason why this is a very strong bearish session that we are right now seeing. Then comes this particular candle where we see that it has though made a closing somewhere around the low of the day, but it entire day it had been in the bearish zone, right? Similarly, this we have already seen in the bullish candle progression where we saw that it was green in color, and in this case it is red in color. So again the same thing applies. The bulls took the charge, but then they gave up, and the bears, they just came down. They not only came till the open, but they also closed below the open. So that means this was again a strong bearish session for the market, right? Then again, if we see here, we have got some small wicks, right? But yet this is also a strong session, right? And then again, this is just comparatively with the length of the wick, it has been said as a strong session, and this been said as a very strong session. Again, if you consider this particular candle, where we do see that there is some fall in the prices, right? But still 2/3 of the candle body is red, and that's the reason why it's a strong bearish day, right? And then if you see something like here, where it is again showing a neutral session, where the candles are red, but you cannot take any decision about what to do the next day, and that's the reason why they termed to be neutral. And this, though they are red body, if you now recollect what we had seen in the previous slide, where we saw that this being the strong bullish session, because the bears have been attacked by the bulls at this point, and they took the price upwards, and that is the reason why they recaptured their lost territory, and that's the reason why these are the bullish signals or the bullish candles for the market. And that's why they are, though red in color, though we know that red is bearish, these candles are called as bullish session for us in the market, right? Hope this video was useful to you. Keep liking our Swechart channels on YouTube for more and more videos. In the next video, we will be covering small bodies in candlesticks. So keep listening. Thank you all.